Let's take a look at the power distribution module and the 4 status LEDs on board. The first LED we're going to look at is down here by the 20 amp fuse. This LED will illuminate when you have power connected through the external battery. So I'm going to connect my battery here, and you can see after I turn on the power switch, the LED comes on the bottom left corner. Now this means that your 20 amp fuse here is good. Your 20 amp fuse inline on the battery, if it's there, is good, and that your connection to the battery is solid. You can wiggle around this connection, make sure the LED stays solid, so make sure you have good contact, and it means that the power switch is on. So if this LED and the other ones won't illuminate, if that one is not, if that LED is not turning on, you can check those things. The Tamiya connector here may need to be maintained if it's been used a lot, and that's okay. You can take a very small flathead screwdriver, insert into the power distribution module side of the connector, and crimp that contact down a little bit so that the opening is a little bit smaller, and that'll help out a lot. Do that on both of those. And the best test is to have it connected and wiggle that connector around, make sure this light is staying solid. You can replace this connector if you want with Anderson power poles, but ensure you are always connecting red to red and black to black. By connecting battery backwards, it has potential to blow up a chip on your power distribution module. Colton, what if that light doesn't come on? Check those things. It is something in there between the fuse battery. It's something in that line. Now let's look at the next two LEDs. The next two LEDs mean that the circuitry on board the power distribution module for the USB hub is getting voltage. If this LED is on and those two are not, it means there's a chip on board that's blown up from connecting battery backwards, or connecting battery into these top ports here, which you should never do. Do not connect a battery to these top ports. Connecting it in the right direction will be fine, but it's an easy way to connect it backwards, and that's bad. It can damage your power distribution module. If these lights are not coming on, we can fix your power distribution module. Go to modernroboticsinc.com, click on resources, and find the module repair service form, also linked below. The fourth LED is up here next to P6. It's on the top left of the module. This fourth LED indicates that the power distribution module is getting communication from a host device. Your host device is connected here through the USB mini port. This could be a computer or an Android phone. Once it gets that communication, then that light will turn on and voltage will come through the USB ports. It will establish that connection. Let's take a look right now at what you're about to look like if you didn't have anything connected. If we connect a legacy module or a core device interface, we'll see that's not going to light up. There's no LEDs on there. And that's because these ports are off, because there's no host, and that light is not on. So that means there's no voltage going through the USB ports on the power distribution module. But if you connect a motor or servo controller, they get power through the power outputs on the top. So even if that fourth LED is not turned on, your motor and servo controller should still get power because they are being powered through these 12-volt outputs. It is illuminated, but you will not be able to communicate with it because your USB ports are not on. So don't be fooled. That LED on motor and servo controllers just means it's getting 12-volt input. It does not mean it's getting communication through the USB cable. If we connect our phone, go back to that. If we connect our phone, so I'm going to take my on-the-go cable, mini to micro, connect that to my robot controller, and we get a fourth LED on the power distribution module, and my core device interface illuminates. Now let's say that LED is not turned on. Let's say I connect my phone and that did not work. Where should I look? Well, first, we can test the power distribution module with a more controlled test using a computer. So I'm going to use one of my USB mini cables. And here my light is still illuminated, so I'm actually going to turn that off. So I have my power distribution module on. That fourth LED light is not turned on. So now I can test to see if when I connect to my computer, if that's going to turn on. So if my computer illuminates that fourth LED, then I know that it's not the power distribution module causing the problem. So I'm going to take my computer, I'm going to plug in a USB mini cable, and it turned on, so I know my power distribution module is good. And then if I were to have my core device interface still illuminate or connected, that light comes on. Now, I have a good power distribution module. Let's say my phone never turned that light on, but my computer did. Where should you start looking? First, you should look at the USB mini connection on the power distribution module. Make sure that's intact. Make sure that looks fine. You can even connect the cable and make sure that that doesn't wiggle around all too much. Make sure that feels good. And then make sure the connection on the phone is good as well, because that can get torqued and the connector will bend. So you have to look at that as well. Make sure that's secure. You can even move this connector in different directions up and down and see if that brings the light on. If it does, that means that your contacts aren't always making positive connections. So you may need to replace this cable or make sure it's not the USB port on the phone that's causing it. If those are fine, make sure your phone's on. That'd be an obvious one. You may need to turn off your phone and turn it back on. And in some cases, we've even heard that you've had to do a factory reset on your phone in order for it to go back and start recognizing USB devices again. So that's what that fourth LED is all about. As a quick side note, if your robot is only recognizing one USB device at a time, if it only sees one motor controller and nothing else, or one servo controller and nothing else, or one core device, blah, blah, blah. If it only sees one thing at a time, but it sees everything individually perfectly fine, that is almost always due to your robot controller Android device being at Android version 5. If you're at Android 5, they got to upgrade to Android 6. Be aware that some phones don't support Android 6, so if you're at Android 4, that's fine, stay there, especially if they don't support Android 6. But if your phone only sees one module at a time, that's not a power distribution module problem, that's actually with your phone. Check your Android version. After going through this troubleshooting, you can always contact us for more support. You can call us or email support@modernroboticsinc.com.